Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Jammed. Today we're talking about something I think a lot of us struggle with, something that we don't talk about enough, something that can completely change the way that you see yourself, and that's recognizing your own greatness. Yes, your greatness, not somebody else's, not the person that you follow on social media, not the person you follow on Instagram or whatever, not the person you went to school with who seems like they've got everything figured out. Not the person with the bigger house, the nicer car, the better job, the bigger bank account, or the person with this, perfect life. I'm talking about you. Because here's something that I've learned recently. Sometimes we spend too much time recognizing how great everybody else is that we forget to recognize how great that we are. And I've got to be honest with you. I've recently started doing this myself. I started taking a step back and appreciating who I am, what I've accomplished, what I've overcome, what I bring to people's lives, what I bring to the table, and the qualities that make me great. And you know what? It feels good. Not because I think I'm better than anybody, but because I finally realized that appreciating yourself doesn't mean that you're arrogant. There's a difference between arrogant and confidence. Arrogance says, I'm better than you. Confidence says, I'm proud of who I am. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think more people need to do it because we live in a world where it's incredibly easy to compare. You can open your phone and see somebody traveling the world, somebody buying a new house, somebody getting married, somebody getting promoted, somebody getting in great shape, somebody starting a successful business, somebody that appears to be living their best life. And if you're not careful, you start looking at their highlight reel and you start comparing it to your behind the scenes. You start asking yourself, why don't I have that? Why am I not there yet? What's wrong with me? But here's the problem. You're so busy looking at everyone else's greatness that you can't even see your own. And today, I want to change that because I believe every single person listening has something great about them. Maybe you haven't discovered it yet. Maybe you've forgotten it. Maybe you've allowed failure, criticism, comparison, or simply life circumstances to make you believe that you're not great or that you're not special. But I'm here to tell you that you are. And today I want to give you 5 ways to tap into your own greatness. Number 1, stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Let's start right there. Now, you've heard me bring this up before on this show because comparison will steal your joy faster than almost anything. You have to understand something. You're not supposed to have someone else's life. You're supposed to have yours. Their timeline is different. Their timeline isn't your timeline. Their opportunities aren't your opportunities. Their struggles aren't your struggles. Their strengths aren't your strengths. And their story isn't your story. So why do we keep on constantly comparing? Why compare our bodies, our careers, our relationships, our finances, our homes, our accomplishment, our social lives, everything? And social media, of course, I've said that before, it makes it even worse. You see somebody on vacation and think that they're always traveling. You see someone smiling in a picture and think that they're always happy. You see somebody celebrating a promotion and think that their career has always been perfect. But you don't see the whole story. You don't see the sleepless nights. You don't see the failures. You don't see the arguments. You don't see their sacrifices. You don't see the doubts. You don't see the moments when they wondered if they were good enough. So stop comparing your entire life to someone else's highlight reels. Instead, compare you to you. Ask yourself, am I better than I was last year? Have I learned something? Have I grown? Have I become more disciplined? Have I become a better friend, a better parent, a better leader, a better person overall? That's the comparison that matters. Your goal isn't to become somebody else. Your goal is to become the best version of yourself. And there's something powerful about that. Number 2, remember what you've already overcome. Here's another way to recognize your greatness. Look backward, not so you can live in the past, but so you can appreciate how far you've come. Sometimes we're focused on where we're trying to go that we forget to acknowledge where we've already been. Think about your life. Think about some of the things you didn't think that you would ever make it through. Some of the disappointments, some of the failures, some of the difficult seasons, some of the people you lost, some of the opportunities that you didn't get, some of the moments where you thought, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But guess what? You did. You're still here, and that means something. You may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. And that's worth celebrating. Sometimes greatness isn't winning a championship. Sometimes greatness is getting out of bed when life has knocked you down. Sometimes greatness is starting over. Sometimes greatness is admitting when you were wrong. Sometimes greatness is continuing when no one believes in you. Sometimes greatness is being there for your family even when you're exhausted. Sometimes greatness is simply refusing to quit. Sometimes greatness is choosing to keep learning. Don't overlook those things. Your survival is part of your story. Your growth is part of your greatness. Number 3, identify what you bring to other people's lives. Now, this is a big one. Ask yourself, what do I bring to the people around me? Maybe you're the person everybody calls when they need advice. Maybe you're the person who makes everybody laugh. Maybe you're a great listener. Maybe you're dependable. Maybe you're a great parent. Maybe you're a great coach, a great leader. Maybe you're creative. Maybe you're disciplined. Maybe you're encouraging. Maybe you're the person who walks into a room and changes the energy. Maybe you motivate people without even realizing it. We often underestimate the impact we have on other people. You might think you're just having a conversation, but somebody else might remember what you said for years. You might think you're just checking on somebody, but that phone call might have meant everything to them. You might think you're just doing your job, but somebody might be watching you and thinking, I want to be like that someday. That's greatness. And here's something I want you to understand. Your greatness doesn't always come from what you accomplished. Sometimes your greatness comes from what you give. Your time, your energy, your knowledge, your encouragement, your love, your presence. So take some time and think about what you bring to the people around you, because I guarantee you, you're impacting somebody more than you realize. Number 4, give yourself credit. Now, this one might be the hardest one. Give yourself some credit. We are so quick to celebrate other people. Somebody gets a promotion, we're proud of you. Somebody graduates, we say congratulations. Somebody reaches a goal, man, that's amazing. But when we accomplish something, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. But why? Why do we minimize our own accomplishments? You worked hard for that. You sacrificed for that. You stayed consistent. You showed up. You kept going. You deserve to acknowledge that. And I'm not saying that you need to brag about everything that you've done. I'm saying you need to appreciate yourself. There's nothing wrong with saying, man, I'm proud of myself. There's nothing wrong with looking in the mirror and saying, man, I've came a long way. There's nothing wrong with celebrating a small victory. You don't have to wait until you become a millionaire. You don't have to wait until you lose 50 pounds. You don't have to wait until you get a promotion. You don't have to wait until everybody recognizes you. Recognize yourself. Because if you're always waiting for someone else to validate you, you're giving somebody else control over how you feel about yourself. Don't do that. Celebrate your progress. Celebrate your discipline. Celebrate your growth. Celebrate the fact that you're still trying. Number 5, start acting like the person you believe you can be. This is where recognizing your greatness turns into action, because it's not enough to say, I'm great. You got to start living like you believe you have greatness inside of you. If you believe you're capable of becoming healthier, start making healthier choices. If you believe you can learn something new, pick up the book, take the class, watch the tutorial, practice. If you believe you can become a better leader, then start leading. If you believe you can build a business, then start building. If you believe that you can travel, then start saving. If you believe that you can become a better version of yourself, then start today. You don't have to completely transform your life overnight. You just have to start moving. One decision, one workout, one chapter, one conversation, one healthier meal, $1 saved, 1 hour invested, one small step, and then another. Because greatness isn't always one huge moment. Greatness is often built in small moments that nobody sees. And that's what makes it so powerful. So let me leave you with this. Let me bring it all together. I want you to stop for a minute. Seriously. Take a second. Think about your life. Think about where you started. Think about what you've been through. Think about what you've accomplished. Think about the people you've helped. Think about the things that you're good at. Think about the qualities that make you unique. And ask yourself, what is great about me? Don't be afraid to answer that question. Maybe you're hardworking. Maybe you're loyal. Maybe you're funny. Maybe you're intelligent. Maybe you're compassionate. Maybe you're creative. Maybe you're resilient. Maybe you're disciplined. Maybe you're a great parent. Maybe you're a great friend. Maybe you're a great leader. Maybe you're somebody who refuses to quit. Whatever it is, own it. You don't have to apologize for being good at something. You don't have to shrink yourself to make somebody else feel comfortable. And you don't have to pretend like you're less capable than you really are. Recognize your greatness. Because here's the thing. There's somebody out there wishing they had something that you take for granted. Your confidence, your ability to communicate, your work ethic, your creativity, your relationships, your knowledge, your courage, your story, your ability to keep going. Somebody is inspired by you, and you may not even know it. I've started to realize that recognizing your own greatness is actually an act of gratitude. It's saying, I appreciate who I am. I appreciate what I survived. I appreciate what I've learned. I appreciate the person that I'm becoming. And most importantly, I don't have to be somebody else to be valuable. That's powerful. Because there will always be somebody richer, somebody faster, somebody smarter, somebody more successful, somebody with more followers, somebody with more accomplishments. But there's only one you. And nobody can do your life better than you can. So stop waiting for permission to appreciate yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're great. Stop looking around the room and wondering who's doing better. Look in the mirror. You made it this far. You have more in you. You have more to give. You have more to learn. You have more to accomplish. You have more people to impact. And your best days may still be ahead of you. So walk with confidence, not arrogance. Confidence. Be proud of yourself. Keep improving. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep showing up. And don't ever forget, there's greatness in you. You just have to recognize it. That's all I have for you on this episode of Jam the Podcast. And if nobody has ever told you lately, I'm proud of you. Now go out there, recognize your greatness, and do something great with it. If not, you may be jammed. Thanks for listening.